We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Eastpointe City Council on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2016 at 7 p.m. Please rise for the invocation given by Councilwoman Sarah Lucido and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear God, we thank you for the many blessings you have given us. We ask that you continue to watch over the many people and organizations that work so hard to better our city. Groups like our Lions, our Knights of Columbus, the Oddfellows, the Friends of Liberty, and Cruising Gratiot, just to name a few, work tirelessly to make Eastpointe a better place to live. By encouraging all of our residents to share the special talents they have to offer, there is no limit to how great the city of Eastpointe can be. It is in your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please call the roll.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Here.
Councilperson Lucido?
Here.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Here.
Councilperson Marion?
Here.
Mayor Pixley?
Here. And with that, we'll move to the first hearing of the public. Does anyone wish to be heard? Sir, in the back?
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff Georgian, Topher Eastpointe. Just wanted to say last time I was here, I asked about the Eastpointe Police maybe kind of patrolling the Topher, Beechwood, Gratiot area, and I want to say thank you because they have been doing that, and feel a lot more happy about that because there's some speeding going on there. The other thing I would like to request is maybe start talking about getting neighborhood watch programs started up again. I used to do that some years ago, and then I wasn't able to do it because of job stuff, but maybe if anybody knows anything about that, or if we can get something going there, I'd be interested in participating in that. That's about it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Does anyone else wish to be heard? Mrs. Peak?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm here tonight to address the water bills, but not specifically for me, because my water bills, I could tell exactly if something was wrong with them because I log them every day since we went on the new program. I can tell you how much I've used in a week when my sprinkler systems are running. I keep a real good tab on it. I think it would be a good idea if more residents done the same thing. Following that, I do remember when we went on to this new program, we were told that with this new system, it would be very easy for the city at the water department to keep an eye on if there were meters that were going bad, where they could contact the residents immediately. So I would think even if the residents were not doing it, and the water department has been following through like they promised us in the very beginning, some of these people would not have had such high water bills. I'm beginning to wonder, did the city follow through on this? Did the water department keep an eye on these water meters like they were supposed to do and guaranteed us with the new system it would be? And I did call because last summer when we had the gas company and the water out there, this spring I asked if we could take that little blue stick out of our thing. I called the water department. The girl said she never had anybody ask that question before. She would get back with me. That's been a good 3 weeks ago. She's never got back with me. But luckily enough, there was a water guy coming down the street, and he pulled it out for me and said it could come out now. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Peak. Does anyone else wish to be heard at this time? Anyone else? Seeing none, the first hearing of the public is closed. We'll move on to approval of the minutes. We just have one meeting tonight, which is the regular meeting of April 19th, 2016. Do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I'll motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting on April 19th, 2016.
Support.
Move with support. Any corrections? Please call the roll.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Mayor Pigsley?
Yes. We have no scheduled hearings, no unfinished business tonight. We'll move on to reports from administration and start with our city manager, Mr. Duchesne.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I just wanted to discuss with council and confirm that May 16th is still the date of interest regarding the joint meeting of the school board, so that I can confirm back with them. I am aware we will have two members that will be unable to attend, which will place three then. So if there's any concerns about that and limitations on our discussion, I want to discuss it here before I go back and report that to the school board. So anybody have any concerns regarding that, or less than a full board, or having two people absent on our part? So
I have a concern because I don't think the school district has any additional information over and above what we've heard. I've asked if they're into the part where they're becoming more and more involved with strategic planning and how the city council can work more with the schools. I think they're kind of in limbo and they still don't know, so I'm wondering whether maybe we should postpone it and pick it up in June. I think it seems like the state doesn't have the budget for the person that they want to come here, and I don't think they've chosen the person that they're gonna have, and they still don't know exactly what that person is gonna be doing. So maybe we could postpone it to June.
That'd be fine by me.
I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, I don't even know if they're gonna know by June, to be honest. It might be something, you know, even if we did May 16th or June, even if it's not a full council now, and then maybe again in the fall, because by then they'll probably have someone, you know, maybe schedule this out now to do something maybe in September after school gets going.
What do you think?
I don't know, without them really coming forward with that much new information, it almost seems kind of pointless, other than the fact that we're going to get together and meet. I think to make it constructive, I think it would be better after they had some input from the state.
Charlie?
Well, we did want to talk about a few items that weren't related to the state coming into place, like community marketing or, you know, their buildings, recruiting students. So maybe two different meetings is a good idea, because like you said, if they don't know any more next month, do we push it off again? Maybe we have one soon and then one once.
So what were the topics that you wanted to talk about?
The topics we talked about before were, you know, the state takeover, of course, of the 4 buildings, the community marketing, land use, recruiting students. I have a few things written down. Shadowing, we were going to do the shadowing again,
We can still have.
which I think we could set that up outside of a meeting.
Yeah.
That would be pretty simple.
Except school is coming to an end, so.
Yeah, it'd have to be,
Yeah. Well, with the shadowing, I don't think we actually need a meeting to try to set
Right.
something like that up.
Exactly.
But maybe we should just do a meeting in June anyway to cover whatever topics we can at that time. Well, we can get a full council there too, so.
I would prefer that we have a whole council as much as possible.
Oh, I agree, yeah.
So in summary, then, I will correspond with them regarding possibly a June meeting as an alternative to May 16th, with a possible discussion of follow-up in the fall, or when they are more
Hear more from
informed
the state.
regarding their future plans. Is that-
Sounds good to me.
Yeah,
Does
sounds
that
good.
sound, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you very much. That's all I had tonight, Madam Mayor.
Anybody have anything for city manager? No? Okay, let's move on to our finance director, Mr. Blum.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. I would just like to make sure that everyone took a look at the Friday report that came out, and if you have any comments on it, please give me some feedback. The one suggestion that I had in there would, if there's no alternatives or suggested changes, we'll turn it into a policy that comes before council. But don't really want to talk about it right now. Just please read it and give me, okay, or change this or whatever. So.
I did have one thing I did forget to mention. It was raised by a resident regarding the water metering system, and as you know, we are discussing the next phase, next generation upgrade in the water system. I will say they are still monitoring the issues of the aging of the system, has slowed some of that practice down. But I do have at the table one gentleman who did get a call from the water department that talked about the increase in water usage. I think, Mr. Marion, that was a year or so ago, or 2 years. And so the practice is still in place. System does allow it, and it allows people to go online and look at their usage. The improved system will actually be able to do that if you want to, put it on even an application, a cell phone app, be able to monitor it on more real time. But yeah, it's still in place, it's still used. We refer to it virtually every day, every week, and so can residents look at their usage history and put it even into charts and graphs it for you too, if you want to do that from our website, accessmygov.com it's on our website. So thank you, Madam Mayor, for let me restate.
Anything for?
Actually, I'd like to add to that on the metering system. While we do look at high usage and low usage, when the meters originally went in the 2006 timeframe, you might have had 7 to 10 homes during the month that had low usage, and you could check it out. With the housing crisis, just because there's zero consumption, you don't know now whether it's vacant or it's occupied with a bad empty use. So it's made the checking of it much more difficult. It is still being looked at. It just takes a lot of extra time. It's almost like we're sending people out to stalk. Do you see curtains? Do you see a car in the driveway? That kind of thing. But we are trying to identify the ones with the zero or very low consumption, make a determination best we can whether it's vacant or occupied, and then deal with it from that point on. So.
Anything else? All right, let's move on to Mr. Albright, our city attorney.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. I am in receipt of a letter from the Attorney General's office, and the AG's office is recommending approval to the governor regarding the city's charter amendment ballot language, which will be up in August, so we are good to go on that. City administration is requesting 2 show cause hearings related to the property at 15590 Chestnut and 17328 Lincoln. As there are only 2 properties, I think that we could do this before a regularly scheduled council meeting. I don't think we need a special meeting for just the 2 properties. So the next available dates would be either May 17th or June 7th.
We're
works for the
working on the
council.
budget on June 7th.
June 7th is the public hearing night, and that is open for that. I know that takes some modicum of time.
So council, do you want to do it on the May 17th meeting and do it at 6:30? You can probably get by.
Yep, sounds good to me.
May 17th?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that would work.
I'll have the notices go out. And that is all I have, other than the council is in receipt of our monthly status report. I'm happy to answer any questions council members may have regarding that. It's all 11 pages. Oh, sorry about the length.
Anyone have questions? No.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Move on to new business, and the first item is special land use approval for the White Castle at 20703 Gratiot. I would presume that you're probably here to answer any questions. If you'd come forward and just state your name.
My name's Travis Evans. I'm with White Castle, and I'm here to answer any questions or concerns you guys may have.
Okay, and do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the special land use approval of White Castle at 20703 Gratiot for special use approval to demolish and rebuild the White Castle restaurant based on the record before the council and the city planning commission, city planner's recommendations.
And we have support just to get it on the table.
Support.
All right, now does anybody have any questions?
Sure, I just had, quick comment. Glad to see reinvestment in the community. That is great to see. The new specs here look really nice. I think the flow of the traffic will be a lot better, it looks like, than currently, and that's great. And I saw that I think it was discussed at the Planning Commission, a masonry wall. At first, I wasn't sure about that, the little 3-foot one they wanted to do around the outside, but if you check out Michigan First Credit Union, that one looks really good, really, really well done. So it can be really well done, so I think that'd be great if we can do that. And then the one question I had was, I'm not sure I have enough room to open this up right here, but SP1, so SP1 looks like, of course, the brand new layout, but SP2, I think it was, looked like the current one, but it looked like, I wasn't sure why it wasn't still the, it's the current layout with all it says it's boundary topographic tree survey. Just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing.
I don't believe there's anything missing, no. I don't have the full set in front of me. I have just our C3 sheet, which is our stringer diagram.
One's the original layout, and the other one is the new layout.
Yeah, one, we typically show for the contractor the
Okay.
Existing layout.
Shows the difference especially on the geographic area, how they change in the driveway and the parking. And I think that's so you could relate to the difference.
Okay, so yeah, of course, then the first, SP1, then will be the new plan then, of course. right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, okay. Okay. That was all I had, Madam Mayor.
Anyone else have questions?
No?
All right, please call the roll.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Just want to get all these names in front of me. All right, the next item is the commission appointments for Zoning Board of Appeals, 3 reappointments for the terms expiring May 15th. This is an appointment by the mayor with the city council approval, and I would like to appoint Edward Place for expiration date of his commission to 5/25/19, Shirley Peak with the same expiration date, and Alex Truesdale with the same expiration date.
Support.
We have to call our vote on that, so please call the roll.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Item C is the bid award for the 2016 sidewalk replacement program. Do we have a motion on this?
Madam Mayor, I motion to award the bid for the 2016 sidewalk replacement program to Italia Construction Corporation of Washington, Michigan, in the amount of, sorry, 226,000, is it 226,000?
$226,000.
$60, and authorize the city manager to execute all necessary documents related to the bid.
Support.
Move and support. Do we have questions, comments on this?
So I had some questions. We mentioned in our original note here that our contractor for 2014 and 15, CMV Landscape here, did not finish their work, and that's why we wanted to go with the second lowest bidder.
Among other operational issues, yes, we did. We had the opportunity to extend their contract for another year. Upon departmental recommendation, purchasing did not do that. We had an additional meeting with the contractors regarding those concerns for the failure to completely perform under the prior contract, and that is what has resulted in the recommendation of Italia.
I'm curious of our past history with Italia, because obviously they were with the city, and then they got replaced by CMV. What caused the issue back with Italia?
Wasn't it a little bit?
Well, there's a couple of things that happened in the past 3 years. As you know, the city's been very active. That is a condition that's taken place with a number of repairs and aggressive work on the streets and roads. Italia did set aside some sidewalk work in the past. That is a correct statement. They did do work on streets and roads under some of our direction, so they did not complete. We actually did look at the third bidder and interviewed all 3 of the lowest bidders. However, their price for what they could do, and record of accomplishment on time was really comparable with the other bidders. So I guess what I'm trying to very politely say is that there have been issues of performance with both low contractors, different times, different reasons, but at this time, Italia, upon the secondary interview and their assurances, they have the time, the materials, the manpower set aside to move as promptly as possible to finish up what is really the last work that was identified to be done. That is why we're recommending Italia tonight.
Currently, CMV is doing half the sidewalks in the city, working with Consumers Power.
That is correct, and that weighed heavily on the discussion of, set up a small purchasing committee to go over it. In a nutshell, that was a compelling concern that they could work in harmony with that. The problem with CMV is, again, even at the interview, they followed up with a statement that was symbolic of part of the problem. They basically, the leader of the organization said fundamentally he was going to do it his way. And that had created conflict with the department, the director, and the supervisor. So despite being given that opportunity as a second go-around to say, I'll do whatever you tell us to and follow your specifications, there was some concern that he indeed intended to do that.
So Italia, though, in 2013, memo from Ms. Van Haren, she said, there's a substantial list of warranty work that was not completed by Italia from 2013. They were advised in 2014 about the warranty work, but it remains incomplete. And this note is
Correct.
from last month.
Correct.
Right, so how come that is not done? I mean, I don't want to award someone more work that hasn't fixed their work that's warranted.
They have reasons. They're not good. They're just simply our amount of work that's done, getting back to do that work. I mean, it is a series of excuses or objections to being categorized as being not dutiful in their work, but they are working on the list. We indicated to them that that warranty work has to be done in part and parcel of the existing work, which again, unfortunately, we're in a position where contractors, private contractors, have determined in their own means and methods to accomplish work that probably best suits them. Playing catch-up this year is our objective, and if I had my option, I would probably go to a completely new contractors, but frankly, you get the same reports and same consideration all around. So I feel very, I guess it'd be frustrated to some degree, but in the bidding process, when people sit across from you at a desk and they give you assurances and promises, there isn't much further we can do except test them out.
So what is this actual warranty work, though? Like, do we have sidewalks still from 3 years ago, not in?
Probably, I guess it'd be best to summarize it. It's probably some spalling, it's cracking, settlement, uneven edges, things that are not, it's not warranty work in the sense that the whole section has sunken or disappeared or broken. I mean, there are things that Michigan Concrete Work has its, in these many decades, I've certainly come to learn, has its challenges. And some contractors, you know, they work in rainy situations when they shouldn't. They work when the concrete's too dry and not moist enough, and they have to come back and do an element of warranty work. Most of that falls basically in those categories.
What's our relationship with the third lowest bidder?
Well, we really don't have one, and we met them in this process, and I was completely underwhelmed. The gentleman they sent to us for the meeting was a salesperson. He's probably a good neighbor to somebody and a nice man. What he knew about us and what he did in research of presenting to us was almost nil. And unfortunately, also for $259, I couldn't come, nor could anyone on the committee come close to justifying that additional expense on a complete unknown for us.
Yeah, it's about 15% higher, I'd
Yeah.
say. I don't know, I don't feel very comfortable giving someone work, though, that is not completed. I mean, they're just going to do it and then leave it alone, you know, if it was good, great. If not, then it's gonna be stuck like that, it sounds like. I think I'd rather somehow see us pay a little extra and get our money's worth.
But if you were going to, I would recommend that, but I can't assure you you will. That's the problem. I mean, the 259 versus 222, it's a chunk. And that, without any kind of absolute assurances that you're going to proceed and be better off, I really couldn't find a way to recommend that.
What's the rest of council think?
This is
One other
only a
thing to
one-year
keep in mind is sidewalks are billed to the property owner, so any increase in cost is coming out of the resident's pocket.
Right, no, that's what I was saying. If, I think if we felt strongly enough that 1 and 2 were not good enough, I think we could somehow figure out a way so that it doesn't cost folks more, because, yeah, I knew that would come up, that of course it gets billed to the residents, so I think I'd rather somehow see us cover the difference and actually have good sidewalk than just going with someone that we're not
Is it
100% sure.
conceivable we could put this out for bid again and maybe get some new entities to come in?
Highly unlikely.
Really?
Yeah, you've got about the group you're gonna get. Italia's working in the city, CMV is working in the city.
What about some of the contractors that did a lot of the paving? They don't do sidewalks?
Well, Italia and one of the other contractors, Florence, they don't particularly, I don't want to say this is a small job and project, but it's a small job.
$120,000.
They had an opportunity to bid on this, and they all do. I hate to categorize people as being all about the same, but unfortunately, this is the predicament you're in. You can't really buy up here. The third one we spoke to, they all have the capacity to do it. The question is, will they allocate it in the time? Will they get it done within the few weeks that we've allotted this time? So it's not as if you're buying the cheap version of something and something better would be a sure thing. It is, unfortunately, been the practice and what's tried and true in this business.
What was Mr. Pangori's estimate this was going to be?
I don't know.
What were the-
Engineer estimate, I think they were right about the 225 mark on their pre-bidding engineer's estimate. Based on the quantity, the cost of concrete things today, those bids were, the bottom two, the lowest two were consistent with what had been discussed. As we move up and over 250, that's a little bit on the high side of those things.
So is there any way we can just put in there to make sure they do the work that, they had, the warranty work that wasn't replaced before we pay them for this project? I mean, is there any way we can set it up to make sure that's done first?
I'd like to see that.
You can certainly have them finish the warranty work or concurrently do the warranty work while they're doing this. And then obviously the payments, it's not an easy process, because you withhold a payment and then they cease working. So there's an element of that. I understand exactly what you're saying. And this, believe me, nothing's more frustrating than I feel for our actual inspector in the field who has to stand and talk to residents and people and go around tree roots and cutting those things and doing that. It's a challenge to make everyone work and be happy, but outside of,
But even if they're making progress on the warranty work along with this while you're making them the payments, as long as they're actually making the progress,
Yeah.
I guess that would be.
that would be the ideal situation
Yeah.
that they do. Send Mary out with she has a CPL now, all I can say. I'm not suggesting anything. Sorry, John.
Any other questions?
I guess I'll just add, I do have, I think I understand everything Steve is saying, and he doesn't have an inkling that any of these construction workers would be better than the other. I do have some reservations about tying obligations to warranty work, because I don't want all work to cease just because we're putting our foot down. I don't know what the in-between is for that, but
I think, can we give them just all season or something like, I mean, by the end of the season, I would hope that we could fix everything. It's already been 3 years, so I guess allowing them that much time, I think seems reasonable enough if we're going to give them this much work, it's only gonna be a tiny bit more, I would think. It can't be that
And I
much.
think they're on a different time frame with this work. We've talked about that. They are ready to start tomorrow with your award tonight, so we don't expect, it is our assumption and expectation that they will begin tomorrow and they will be done within a reasonably short period of time, under 30 days. So we're hoping the warranty work could be part of all of that.
Is the area they're gonna be working in gonna be completely different in the city than where CMV's working? So we're not gonna have.
Yeah, they will not be bumping into each other. That was a thought we had, and,
Have some
and,
kind of cement wars?
yeah. Yeah, we thought about that, and again, that was part of the reason on the positive side, is we thought CMV, had they not basically failed to follow orders the last time, I would like to have them work jointly, but that, you certainly cannot, for sure, you cannot reward a company that just basically didn't follow direction and walked away, and we didn't extend their contract last time, so.
Anything else? Please call the roll.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
No.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
Councilperson DeMonico?
No.
Okay, 3-2.
Okay. Our next item is the approval of the Oddfellows 5K run, and we have two of the Oddfellows here tonight, just one, Brian Barr. So can we get a motion to put this on the table?
Madam Mayor, I motion to approve the request for the Oddfellows to conduct a 5K run on Saturday, June 18th, 2016, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., subject to the conditions recommended by Deputy Sheriff Kaiser and Superintendent Pry.
Support.
Move and support. Now, we have some questions. Council have any questions?
No?
Not anymore, now that I saw the event application.
Yeah, we've been on a tight time schedule this year, so we've been really working hard at it to get it in, and we just want to set a good foundation for the years to come up and help the city out as much as we can, like we usually do. We've been here since 1926, so been doing it for 90 years.
You're the oldest fraternal organization in the city.
Mayor Pixley knows she was involved in a lot of things.
I did have a question, because I was talking about this, and a couple of people have said, are you going to allow anybody to walk?
Yes, this is going to be a family fun run, so there's a price for children from 10 to 18, and anyone under 10 is free as long as they're accompanied by a paying adult. So yes, we'll be able to walk. We're going to get some, we've talked to some of the coaches at East Troy High School, so we're going to get the kids from the track team, the baseball team, get the community involved to help us out with the stuff. So we're just trying to do things better for the city. And as you know, fraternal orders, it's so hard to raise money anymore. The demographics and everything's changed, and the kids don't join anymore. That's why you see the VFWs and everybody closing down. We have to get progressive and proactive, and we got to make things a lot better and hang tough with the city.
I'd like you to sign me up for it.
Absolutely.
Hoping I can convince Councilman Kleinfeld to do
And they
it.
need some volunteers. They also need some volunteers.
No pressure.
That's about where the volunteer stops, right there, I tell you.
I'll do it, I just don't want anyone to time me is all.
You can walk, we just cleared that.
I got my little watch on and keep working at it. All right. Please call the roll.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you to all the Oddfellows for helping us out with this. Our next item is payroll and bills. Do we have a motion?
Madam Mayor, a motion to approve payroll the bills in the amount of $1,461,168.10.
Support.
Move and support it. Any discussion? Cardy, you had a lot of questions, but they were all answered.
Yeah, nothing that was a big deal.
Okay, anyone else? All right, please call the roll.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes. And with that, we'll move to the second hearing of the public. Does anyone wish to be heard at this time? Anyone wish to be heard? All right, seeing none, second hearing in the public is closed. Move on to mayor and council reports, and we'll start with Mr. Kleinfeld.
I don't have anything this evening. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Lucido.
Well, I have a couple of things. At the library this weekend, they are having their book, music, and movie sale Saturday from 12:30 to 4:30, and on Monday, May 9th, from 2 to 7. Also, I wanted to remind everyone that Open Yard Day is Saturday, May 14th, from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Department of Public Works on 10 Mile. They'll take debris, blocks, dirt, concrete, rocks, wood, and metal, and car parts, but no paint or anything like that. The list is on the city website if you have any questions. And that is all.
Thank you. Mr. DeMonico.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a couple quick things. First of all, I'd like to say I think it's a great thing that we did the Craigslist/internet purchases at the police station. I think this was a great, simple step that we could do to make things safer. If anyone's out there that didn't hear about this, you can, during daylight hours, go to the police station and do, a Craigslist purchase with someone on the internet. It'll be, of course, safer. It's monitored by video cameras. I think this was something great that our graduate assistant, Mr. Womack, and Mr. Duchesne, Mr. McNeelan said you guys came up with. I think something very simple that hopefully makes the community safer. And then just a couple quick things. The honorary tree ceremony was really great. We had 4 of the 5 families come out that we planted trees for. This was this past Saturday. Really nice event. Hopefully, if anyone else in the community's got a tree they'd like to plant in honor of someone, let us know. And happy Mother's Day, everyone. And, wait, nope, one more. It is my wife's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday, Alyssa. And that's all, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Marion.
Just a couple quick notes. Etiquette classes for the dog park. We've got one this Saturday, the 7th, and then also the following Tuesday, the 10th, both at Rare. Saturday classes at 2 o'clock, the Tuesday classes at 6:30. We're working on some amenities coming into the park. Everybody keep your eyes open, keep your fingers crossed, and hopefully we're gonna have some new things popping up there. We've got numerous things in the works right now. So that's all I got.
Thank you. I have a couple things. Last week, we celebrated Arbor Day, and we planted a tree in the residential neighborhood, and it was the coldest day of the year, I swear. But we were able to put a very, very nice-looking tree in there. And in addition to that, we've recently planted 41 trees along Gratiot. And we're looking for other ways that we can get more trees, either through DTE or sometimes Greening of Detroit has some trees left. So working on helping to reforest some of our local neighborhoods. I would also like to mention, Sir came forward about the Neighborhood Watch. We have had that in our target for a while. We've been working with a couple of the churches that would like to set up a Neighborhood Watch. They will be coming and talking to Mr. Duchesne as well as our Chief of Public Safety about how we could put that into action and still be very cautious about how we're going to be doing that. So that is in the works. And I'm very excited about the Odd Fellows. They've already left, but this is just going to be one more addition to the cruise. I've been faced with some questions about, are we really going to have a cruise? The people that are not having a cruise in a dedicated lane is Roseville. That is not Eastpointe. Eastpointe's cruise is going to happen, and it's going to be bigger and better this year. We have a car show planned for Monday through Saturday, and we may end up with another one the week before and the week after. The business people have been really, really very supportive of the cruise this year. We recently, today, we negotiated with one of our local businesses, and we'll have a second trolley. So 2 trolleys going up and down Gratiot enables families to go from one end of Gratiot to the other, and that really helps out, as well as with seniors. So I think it's going to be very exciting times. A lot more is being planned, and we'll keep you all informed. But the cruise is going to happen, and we do have the dedicated lanes. So I just wanted to tell everybody that. And the exciting thing is to have the walk and run. I really have to thank the Odd Fellows. But before Cruise Week comes Memorial Day, the Memorial Day Parade is, I think everything is in place, so the parade will start here at the City Hall at 11, wind down to Stevens, go east on Stevens to Memorial Park. We have a short ceremony. We have judges, 3 judges that will be looking at floats, a military performance, as well as any type of fraternal organization. And then a short ceremony over at Memorial Park, and then we're having a picnic. And we invite the community to come out. They used to do that, and we hope that a lot of people will come out besides all the participants. The Odd Fellows have been really, really good in helping out the Knights of Columbus. We have school, Charlie Jackson from the trustee from the school board has been working with us, and then as well as the Knights of Columbus. So I think it's going to be a great event, and I encourage all of you to come out. You'll probably see postcards and posters. You better see them. I just paid for 1,000 of them, so I think they're all being circulated. So with that, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Support.
Please call the roll.
Councilperson DeMonico?
Yes.
Councilperson Kleinfeld?
Yes.
Councilperson Lucido?
Yes.
Councilperson Marion?
Yes.
Mayor Pixley?
Yes. Please adjourn. Well.